Welcome to the UGC NET MCQ Series. Question: who among the following is associated with the ecological approach to the study of public administration? A. F. W. Taylor, B. Elton Mayo, C. Fred W. Riggs, D. Herbert Simon. You have 5 seconds to guess the answer. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The correct answer is option C, Fred W. Riggs. Explanation: Fred W. Riggs is the pioneer of the ecological approach in public administration. Drawing inspiration from biology, Riggs argued that administrative systems cannot be studied in isolation. Just like a plant is affected by its environment, soil, weather, sunlight, an administrative system is deeply influenced by its surrounding social, cultural, economic, and political environment, its ecology. He is most famous for his prismatic Sala model, which perfectly describes the administrative systems in developing societies that are transitioning from traditional, fused, to modern, diffracted states. Question: Hannah Arendt analyzes the vita activa via three categories which corresponds to the three fundamental activities of our being in the world. 1. Capital, job and pleasure. 2. Desire, fulfillment and violence. 3. Labor, work and action. 4. Freedom, suffering and rights. You have 5 seconds to guess the answer. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The correct answer is option 3, labor, work and action. Explanation: Hannah Arendt, in her analysis of the vita activa in the human condition, identifies three fundamental activities of human life. Labor, the activity necessary for sustaining biological life. Work, the creation of a durable artificial world through human productivity. Action, the political activity where individuals engage in public discourse and decision making, highlighting freedom and collective deliberation. Question: Application of the laws of dialectics in social life is demonstrated through the principle of 1. Social materialism, 2. Economic materialism, 3. Historical materialism, 4. Cultural materialism. You have 5 seconds to guess the answer. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The correct answer is option 3, historical materialism. Explanation: Historical materialism is the application of dialectical materialism to history. It is a theory developed by Karl Marx that explains the development of human societies through the dialectical relationship between economic structures, the base, and social, political, and ideological superstructures. It argues that the primary driving force of history is the development of material conditions, such as economic systems and technology. According to historical materialism, social and cultural phenomena are ultimately rooted in material conditions and evolve through a process of dialectical struggle. Question: Who has given the concept of managerial revolution? 1. James Burnham. 2. C. Wright Mills. 3. Robert Michels. 4. Karl Mannheim. You have 5 seconds to guess the answer. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The correct answer is option 1, James Burnham. Explanation: James Burnham introduced the concept of the managerial revolution in his book The Managerial Revolution, 1941. He argued that modern societies were undergoing a shift where traditional capitalist owners were losing control, and a new class of managers, technocrats, and bureaucrats was taking over the control of both business and government. This revolution highlighted the growing power of managers in shaping economic and political systems. Question: Human rights are also criticized for 1. Elevating collectivism above individualism, 2. Equating collectivism and individualism, 3. Elevating individualism above collectivism, 4. Opposing collectivism as well as individualism. You have 5 seconds to guess the answer. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The correct answer is option 3. Elevating individualism above collectivism. Explanation: Human rights are often criticized for elevating individualism over collectivism. Critics argue that focusing on individual rights can sometimes overlook or undermine the importance of collective rights, social responsibilities, and the needs of communities or groups. This critique is particularly prominent in non-Western perspectives, where collectivist values are more deeply embedded in social and cultural practices. Question: Match list 1 with list 2. List 1. Statements. A. Government requires a special elite. B. Majority of the population are incapable of effective self-government. C. Political democracy ignores the lack of democracy in economic relations. D. Democratic systems reflect gender divisions in society. List 2. Ideologies. 1. Liberalism. 2. Marxism. 3. Feminism. 4. Conservatism. Options: 1. A1, B3, C2, D4. 2. A2, B1, C4, D3. 3. A4, B1, C2, D3. 4. A3, B2, C and D4. You have 5 seconds to guess the answer. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The correct answer is option 3. A4, B1, C2, D3. Explanation: Here is why these statements match their respective ideologies. Conservatism A4. Conservatism often emphasizes the need for a qualified, experienced elite to govern, due to skepticism about the capabilities of ordinary citizens. Liberalism B1. Classical liberal thinkers, particularly in earlier periods, sometimes doubted the ability of the general population to govern effectively, advocating for limited democracy. Marxism C2. Marxism critiques political democracy for failing to address the lack of democracy in economic relations, where capitalists hold power over the working class. Feminism D3. Feminism critiques how democratic systems often perpetuate gender inequalities and reflect societal gender divisions. Question: Cosmopolitans argue that citizenship should extend to the 1. Country in which an individual resides. 2. People based upon where a person is born. 3. World as a whole. 4. Persons accepted by governments based on laws and rules. You have 5 seconds to guess the answer. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The correct answer is option 3, world as a whole. Explanation. Cosmopolitans argue that citizenship should not be confined to national boundaries but should extend to the world as a whole. They promote the idea of global citizenship, where individuals are seen as part of a broader global community with responsibilities and rights that transcend their country of residence or birth. This perspective emphasizes global justice, universal human rights, and international cooperation. Question. Match list 1 with list 2. List 1. A. Socialism. B. Feminism. C. Ecologism. D. Multiculturalism. List 2. 1. E. F. Schumacher. 2. Charles Taylor. 3. Thomas Piketty. 4. Bell Hooks. Choose the correct answer from the options given below. 1. A. 1. B. 3. C. 2. D. 4. 2. A. 2. B. 1. C. 3. D. 4. 3. A. 4. B. 3. C. 1. D. 2. 4. A. 3. B. 4. C. 1. D. 2. You have 5 seconds to guess the answer. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The correct answer is option 4. A. 3, B. 4, C. 1, D. 2. Explanation. A. Socialism. Thomas Piketty. Piketty is a French economist known for his work on wealth inequality and advocating for a more equitable distribution of wealth, which aligns with socialist principles. B. Feminism. Bell Hooks. Hooks is an American feminist author and activist who has written extensively about race, gender, and class, and is a prominent figure in the feminist movement. C. Ecologism. E. F. Schumacher. Schumacher was a British economist and philosopher who advocated for a more sustainable and equitable economic system, emphasizing small-scale production and respect for the environment. D. Multiculturalism. Charles Taylor. Taylor is a Canadian philosopher who has written extensively about multiculturalism and the importance of recognizing and respecting different cultural identities. Question. Who observed that intellectuals are the dominant group's deputies, exercising the subaltern functions of social hegemony and political government? 1. Mao Zedong. 2. Antonio Gramsci. 3. Karl Marx. 4. Franz Fanon. You have 5 seconds to guess the answer. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The correct answer is option 2, Antonio Gramsci. Explanation. The observation that intellectuals are the dominant group's deputies exercising the subaltern functions of social hegemony and political government was made by the Italian Marxist thinker Antonio Gramsci. He deeply explored the critical role of intellectuals in maintaining the hegemony, dominance of the ruling class in his theory of cultural hegemony. Question. Match list 1 with list 2. List 1. Authors. A. Antonio Gramsci. B. Robert Putnam. C. Michael Oakeshott. D. Max Weber. List 2. Books. 1. On Human Conduct. 2. Prison Notebooks. 3. The Protestant Ethics and the Spirit of Capitalism. 4. Bowling Alone: The Collapse and Revival of American Community. Options: 1. A1, B2, C3, D4. 2. A3, B4, C3, D1. 3. A2, B4, C1, D3. 4. A4, B3, C1, D2. You have 5 seconds to guess the answer. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The correct answer is option 3. A2, B4, C1, D3. Explanation: Antonio Gramsci. He is known for his work Prison Notebooks. Robert Putnam. He is the author of Bowling Alone: The Collapse and Revival of American Community. Michael Oakeshott. He wrote On Human Conduct. Max Weber. He is famous for his work The Protestant Ethic and the Spirit of Capitalism. Thank you for watching. Follow, subscribe and share for more UGC NET MCQs.